Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the Flight Sim world. This is Viperstrike 95. And today we are finally back on our around the world trip. We're in day number 30 of our trip. Yeah, it's been a whole month since we've done this stream. This has been 30 days already. And today we'll be doing our first full flight into the country of Chile today. We're back here at Balmaceda Airport, Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. And today we'll be heading up north again on this flight. We'll be heading our way over to the city of Concepcion today. This is the first of this is the first full flight in Chile today. And this will be the first of three full flights into Chile. So I hope everyone's doing well here today. So great to have you back. So the flight plan should be pretty simple today on this slideshow. So this is where our flight's going to be like today. We'll take off here from Balmaceda. We'll fly up to, I believe we're going to be flying to 9,000 feet. Fly over all the different national park areas here in this part of Chile and Patagonia. Then we'll make our way over to Puerto Montt and make a landing at Sierra Charlie Tango Echo at El Tupal International in Puerto Montt. And there, we'll be continuing up northeast. We'll head our way through the landscape. We'll go back up to a little less, probably at 6,000 feet, and fly over some of the beautiful Chilean scenery, and then make our landing at Concepcion Airport at Sierra Charlie India Echo. So that's our flight going to be today. Pretty nice flight. Should be a really cool flight today. Hey, Speedy69. And speaking of the chat, we have Speedy69. Speedy, good to see you. Hello to everyone and lurking in chat. Good to see you guys here too. So we're going to be taking the Beechcraft King Air 350 today. We're taking that today. So we're going to be going pretty far. And I feel like the King Air would be a very nice plane for this. It's something more chill. The good old King Air can go up to around over 250 knots. The King Air 350 can also cruise up to well above. This plane is very cool, the King Air 350. So according to the one in the sim, it can seat 11 people. It has two PT6 turboprops that produce 1,000 horsepower each. It can cruise at 312 max cruise at 312 knots. It has a ferry range of 1,800 nautical miles and is seen at 35,000 feet. We're not going to go anywhere near that high today, but we will be going high enough to explore the scenery here, Chile. And trust me, Chile is an absolutely beautiful place to fly. Because, like I said, you get tons of different scenery. You got the Chilean Patagonia area, which we flew on Friday. If you guys ever checked that out, that is probably the most visually stunning part of the series so far. But Chile's got tons of natural scenery. It's worth checking out. So let's get to our King Air today. Let's get her on. Battery generator on. On. I did set the full. for here, we're going to actually cruise up to 8,000 feet for this first leg. Here to Puerto Montt. We don't really need to go super high, but 8,000 feet should be more than enough. And our heading should be 339. It's going to be our heading for the first leg. This would be to our first waypoint, which is straight to the city of Puerto Montt. Will be our first waypoint. This should be a pretty nice flight. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a nice time checking out the family cookout. That was always very nice. Here you go, guys. Now, if you guys want to join in, this is a group flight. We're flying a Southeast Asian server. Just if you have a King Air, that would be great. If you rather prefer the TBM, that's also an excellent choice. Just fly something that can keep up with the TBM, which is right around 230, 240 knots. Fine. Here we go. Yeah, the landscapes around Chile are absolutely gorgeous today. So we're going to be flying up to an altitude of 8,000 feet. But yeah, I hope everything's doing well for you guys. In terms of MSFS add-ons. But yeah, here's some pretty big news for all this stuff. Apparently, there is a new 787 being released, which is the Bravo Aerospace 787-8 Dreamliner, which is their own version of it in the sim, featuring a custom model and interior, engine options, cockpit modifications, and EFB. EFB with set sim brief and Navigraph integration, and custom flight model. It does require the premium deluxe version, but the pricing though is pretty nice. $19 is not bad for that price. And it's exclusive for the MSFS marketplace. So this is actually great for the Xbox pilots because they have access to this. Which would be greatly appreciated because they miss out on the really good curl option. But for Xbox, that Bravo would be a really enticing option. So. So we'll get talk more about Chile once we get up to cruise altitude. Um, so we'll be cruising up to 8,000 feet. Just absolutely gorgeous, guys. This is great. Free scenery here today, here in Chile. Stunning here. Absolutely gorgeous. Here today. It's already spectacular, and we just got climbing altitude. It's still. So we're just around 550 nautical miles. I'll talk more about the history of Chile pretty soon. So we'll get there pretty soon. The landscape here is absolutely gorgeous here today, guys. We're getting to fly over some of the mountain ranges here in this part of Chile. We're still technically around the Patagonia area still, so we get all the scenery and stuff. Just incredible scenery, man. I mean, this is base sim stuff. This is just stunning. Mm-hmm. So yeah, things are going pretty well. Things are going pretty well for us. We're for the next couple streams of our around the world trip. Um, um, Next week, our next two around the world trips after today's stream will be on May 31st. We'll be going from Concepcion over to Santiago, and then on next Sunday will be Santiago to we'll go from Santiago to Antofagasta. Prepare for the flight from Chile over to Bolivia. So we'll be doing some flights over to Bolivia, which should be really a lot of fun. Which should be a lot of fun flying into Bolivia. So should be a very nice flight. Um, should be a beautiful trip. Just incredible mountain. Again, this is all part of one mountain chain, by the way. All of this here is part of the Andes mountain chains. So it starts like in Patagonia and it goes all the way up across Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and then all the way to the end, in some parts of it in Venezuela. That's the Andes mountain system. It goes all the way through this side of the South America. this area here is very nice. So I want to ask you guys in the chat. I hope you guys have had a good weekend and enjoying yourselves. The cookout yesterday was a lot of fun, and it was great to see some old friends and stuff. Some of my parents' old friends and stuff. It's been a while since I also see the rest of my family, so I had a good time. I've also did lots of flying yesterday. I'm trying to still catch up to the leaderboard. I'm gonna have to do a lot more flying today. I got a long way to go to catch up to MDA, Paparazzi, and Sean. I want to catch up to them. I really want to catch up to them. It's gonna take me a bit, but I have a feeling I'll catch up. Hey, Filthy, good to see you, Filthy. I hope you're doing well. We're doing some flying in Chile today. So I hope you're doing well, Filthy. So we're going to be flying in Chile today. We're heading to Puerto Montt for the first stop of today's stream. That's what we're doing here today. So we're start from Balmaceda, and we're gonna head up to Puerto Montt for the first stop. We're just flying over some of the Chilean mountain scenery. So we're just flying our way north. So let's check out some of the scenery again. But yeah, there's more of the Andes. The scenery here is just unbelievable in this part of the world. Absolutely incredible. Like a lot of people like to fly in the United States or Europe. South America is absolutely gorgeous. Like I know sometimes photogrammetry, the photo data isn't the greatest, but when it is, South America is absolutely incredible to fly over. One of the most underrated regions to fly over, honestly. You've got tons of great land sceneries. You got Patagonia, of course, which we flew over yesterday, with all the fjords and stuff. You also have the Andes in Bolivia, Peru, and Ecuador. The Andes regions are always great to fly. You got the rainforest areas like the Amazon. and stuff. Got tons of really good scenery in this area. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's just very nice to fly in and out of. So let's talk a little bit about Chile today. I got the slides. Oh yeah, thank you. Now this is the Firefly Air Livery King Air. Here you guys go if you want to learn more about that livery. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Chile since we just got started. Yeah, Chile. Woohoo! So Chile's located in the western part of South America. It's the southernmost country in the entire world is Chile, and it's the closest to Antarctica. Stretched along a narrow strip of land between the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Its population is 17.5 million people, with a territorial area of 756,102 square kilometers, sharing borders with Peru to the north, Bolivia to the northeast, Argentina to the east, and the Drake Passage to the south. It also has several Pacific islands, most notably Easter Island. The capital and largest city in Chile is Santiago, and the national language is Spanish. So Chile currently has had quite a turbulent history. The Spanish took over the region a bit. Then there was Declaration of Independence and stuff, including a turbulent late 20th century with Pinochet. So nowadays, Chile has a high-income economy and is one of the most economically and socially stable nations in South America. Leading Latin America in competitiveness, per capita income, globalization, peace, and economic freedom, as well as democratic development, and boasts the second lowest homicide rate in the Americas, following Canada. So currently, it's a pretty stable state and all that. Now, a lot of people, when they know Chile, first, the country is really long. North to south, this country is really long north to south. That's one thing to note. Secondly, Chile's flag. And that flag looks kind of familiar with the Lone Star, and in fact, it is very similar to the state of Texas. And as a result, some people actually confuse the U.S. state flag of Texas and Chile. The interesting thing between the Chilean and Texan flag that the difference is that Chile, the blue part of Chile's flag, is only half of. It's actually on the top left corner, whereas the Texas flag, the blue runs down the entire flag, one side of the flag. So that's why there would be difference between the Chilean and the Texan flag. So a lot of people would confuse the Chilean flag with the flag of Texas. So don't make that confusion, okay? So to talk about Chilean history for a bit, we have to start with the pre-colonial times. People have been around this area for around 18,000 years ago, as migrating indigenous people settled in the fertile valleys and coastal areas, which is now Chile. Some of them include Monteverde, Cueva de Milodon, and the Polyike crater's lava tube. The Incas at one point briefly extended their empire into northern Chile, but the Mapuche successfully resisted many attempts by the Incan Empire to subjugate them despite their lack of organization. And one of those battles was the Battle of Malay, which ended the Incan conquest of Chile at the Mal River. But yeah, the Mapuche tribe, you get to know them quite well. And again, most people know them for their So how exactly did the Spanish manage to get to the place? Well, the first Europeans to discover to set foot in Chile was actually Ferdinand Magellan in 1520. When he discovered the Southern Passage, which was currently named after him, the Strait of Magellan, he became the first European to set foot in what's now Chile. The next Europeans came in 1535 by Diego de Almagro and his Spanish conquistadors who came from Peru to seek gold. And they encountered various cultures that support themselves through agriculture and hunting. However, Chile's conquest didn't start until 5 years later in 1540 by Pedro de Valdivia, who founded the city of Santiago in 1541. Although the Spanish now found gold and silver, they found out that Chile's Central Valley became very fertile land, and Chile became part of the Spanish Empire, and conquest took over this area gradually as the Europeans suffered repeated setbacks, mainly by the Mapuche tribe, which had been an issue even to today, by the way. And they started in 1553, and then insurrections in 1598 and 1655 key setbacks as well. So, and as a result, Chile became one of the most centralized, homogenous, and territories in Spanish America. For example, in a survey census in 1777, most of them are European descent, followed by a small population of Mestizo, indigenous people, and black population for the slaves. Also, the other issue was they also had a lot of issues from the Mapuche and Spain's European enemies, mainly the French, English, and Dutch, with buccaneers and pirates. And as a result, Chile became one of the most militarized Spanish possessions and a big drain on the treasury of the Viceroyalty in Peru. But independence didn't start until 1808, with Napoleon's enthronement of his brother Joseph Napoleon as Spain's king, precipitated the drive by Chile to be independent from Spain. Mainly, the national junta came with Ferdinand, the heir to the deposed king, in 1810, and they proposed an autonomous government within the Spanish monarchy, which would eventually lead to a movement of total independence, led by Jose Manuel Carrera and his two brothers Juan Jose and Luis Carrera. Soon gained a wire following. The Spanish tried to reimpose arbitrary rule, but that ended up not working for the Spanish, as in 1817 they crossed into the Andes into Chile and defeated the Royalists. And on February 12, 1818, Chile was an independent republic. Soon after independence, they slowly started to expand its influence and establish borders. In 1826, the archipelago of Chiloé became incorporated, and with an economic boom due to Civil War in Valparaiso, led to conflict with Peru for maritime supremacy in the Pacific. There's also a couple civil wars that happened in Chile in 1829 and 1830, as well as two other wars in the 1850s. However, the big thing that really grew was during the 19th century. However, Chile became a major power in South America and the Pacific, with its occupation of Mapuche territory of Araucana. Then there was a boundary treaty in 1881 between Chile and Argentina that confirmed its sovereignty over the Strait of Magellan, though it renounced all its claims to East Patagonia. And finally, in 1879 to 1883, there was the War of the Pacific between Chile and an alliance of Peru and Bolivia, which the Chileans won, and it expanded its territory by almost a third and acquired valuable nitrate deposits, which ended up actually helping Chile grow its economy through the early 20th century. And Chile actually became a very much a naval power in the Americas. Yes, Chile was actually quite a powerful naval power during that time. There was also a civil war in 1891 in Chile, which lasted from January to September. Redistributed the power of President Congress. And in fact, Chile became naval power during this time. It even led to an arms race um, for dreadnoughts between Argentina, Brazil, and Chile to get battleships. Um, During the part of the 1900s, the Chilean economy partially degenerated into a system of rural oligarchy, and by the 1920s, the emerging middle and working classes were powered enough to elect a reformist president, Arturo Alessandri, um, into power. Then there was a military coup in 1924 that set off instability until 1932, and 10 governments actually took power during that time. But it wasn't until 1932 when the Radical Party emerged to bring democracy for the next 20 years, and the state increased its power in the economy. However, the big thing difference was during the 1960s, however, is when things start to really get interesting, was the 60s and early 70s. When Frei Montalva took power in 1964, he did under reforms and economic programs. However, he got opposition from both leftists who found his reforms are inadequate and from conservatives who found them excessive. And as a result, in 1970, Senator Salvador Allende of the Socialist Party of Chile was achieved a majority, and he became the president. However, in 1972, there was an economic depression causing capital flight and all that in response to his social program, and as a result, causing with national banks and all that. And eventually, this led to such issues and all that in 1973 a military coup happened. As armed forces bombarded the presidential palace, Allende committed suicide, and eventually the military junta took over the country, led by General Augusto Pinochet, who became a military dictator, and his years of regime were marked by human rights violations, mainly in Operation Condor, where during his reign, over 2,000 people were killed and at least 27,000 were tortured. And there was an additional 9,800 victims recognized in 2011. In the 1980s and the late 80s, due to the result of the 1982 economic collapse and civil resistance, the government gradually permitted greater freedoms, assembly, speech, and association, and eventually led to, in 1988, when Pinochet was out of power, and the Christian Democrat Patricio Aylwin became the new president of Chile, transitioning it from the dictatorship of Pinochet to a modern democracy. And here it is with that slide I just mentioned. And then finally, Chileans elected a new president, and it continued on for many years. And then in 2019-2020, there was a series of protests in response to the rise of the cost of living, subway fare, and cost of living throughout the country. So, and there's also a new president in Chile, Gabriel Boric, who became the youngest leader ever at 35 years old when he became the president of Chile. And that wraps up the history of Chile, guys. So that ends up Chile's history. So there we go. So yeah, that is the history of Chile. Um, so we'll talk more about Chile once we get to our next stop. So I'm intending to spread all this information out as I intend to spread this information out because we got multiple streams in Chile, so I want to try and spread these slide stuff out for a bit. Let's take a look outside now. Yeah, we're getting some really pretty areas here in Chile. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, as soon as I get back, I'm gonna have to do a new Firefly Air achievement apparently, and I have to fly the A320, which is a plane I don't have a lot of familiarity with. I get it, EasyJet flies all the A320s. I'm gonna have to learn how to get the throttle quadrant thing set up for the A320. Beautiful areas here. This is just gorgeous scenery here today in Chile. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, and I guess for next Wednesday, I'm gonna have to do an Airbus A320 flight. I think I'm gonna do some flying out of Pittsburgh, since we have a hub here in Pittsburgh, and Spirit flies out of there. So I haven't done Pittsburgh International in quite some bit of time. So I'll probably do Spirit Airlines, probably do from Pittsburgh, maybe to Myrtle Beach. I think Myrtle Beach would sound like a pretty cool flight. Hey, good to oh yeah, the E320 is a frame hog. Ah, gotcha. Yep. I guess I'll just stick to the Boeing then. If it's that much of a frame, do you mean the Phoenix E320 frame hog, or is it the new one from any builds, or is both of them kind of frame hogs, Typhon? I'm kind of curious because yeah, the scenery out here today is just outstanding today. Oh man, the natural scenery here today is just outstanding today. Man, this is gorgeous. Like we're not even Patagonia still. We're not like in that area like it was before. But I mean, this area is still gorgeous. Just absolutely done. What in any builds, and that was from Allison. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, the only problem is I'm going to be forced to fly that for the EasyJet achievement. I'm going to have to be forced to fly that. Yeah, and Allison's got a very fancy system herself, so yeah, I guess that does not bode well for me then. But I know it's quite good though. It's just that um yeah, we're getting pretty close to our first stop here in Florida Mountain. The second one will actually just to be a little bit longer though, but will be a bit longer. So Sonic area. So yeah, I'll descend down to around 2,000 feet pretty soon. We're just 89 miles from our first stops. So yeah, if it's that much of an issue, the frame hawk stuff, I guess I haven't flown it yet, so I wouldn't know. So let's go ahead and descend down to 2,000 feet. And get our way to the first stop of today's trip. This is Puerto Montt, which is our first stop for today's trip. So we're getting very close to our first stop, but I mean, this has been an absolutely gorgeous flight today. Man, this area is pretty. Like, I know Chile was always nice to fly, but this is even nicer than I was expecting it to. Let's get to Puerto Montt. This will be our first stop of the day. But the city of Puerto Montt um, is a port state located in southern Chile, at the northern end of the Reloncaví Sound. It's about 1,000 kilometers south of Santiago. It spans an area of 646 square miles and a population of 245,000 people. It was founded as late as 1853 during the German colonization of southern Chile, as some 30,000 German settlers settled in the region. Puerto Montt soon outgrew its older neighboring cities through its strategic position in the southern end of the Chilean Central Valley and the gateway to the Chiloé archipelago. And it gained renown and grown significantly through the rise of Chile to become the second largest sand producer in the world during the 90s and 2000s. And this cultural endowment of the city, it mixes elements of Chilean Spanish culture with German heritage, and has attracted a lot of newcomers from all over Chile in the past 30 years. So there are quite a few landmarks and things to do here in the city. There is the Los Andino National Park, the most well-known natural landmark of the area, established in 1992, featuring over 50 sparkling lakes and ponds, also waterfalls and much, much more. It's a beautiful area, stunning part of the Chilean landscape. Absolutely worth checking out if you're a nature lover. Then there's the Angel Mo, one of the most famous markets in the entire country, lies around the waterfront with a cluster of wood buildings. You can find all sorts of seafood um, and other stuff around the city. And finally, you have the Cathedral of Puerto Montt, one of the oldest and most attractive buildings in town, erected in 1856, being used for both an army barracks and theater, before later being restored back to a cathedral by Pope Pius XII. So that's some of the landmarks here in the city of Puerto Montt. It's a beautiful port town. It's also a cruise ship destination as well. Um, Now, obviously, it's a tender dock, but according to my research about Puerto Montt, there's all sorts of excursions. You got the Orzano volcano. You could do rafting in the Petrique River, fly fishing. You could do river rafting, a German settler museum, and more. It's a beautiful area. It's an absolute gorgeous area. Oh, my boat speed a bit. Yeah, this area is just gorgeous. But yeah, we'll be flying over Puerto Montt soon. Just not far from the city, but I mean, this area is just wonderful. I mean, this area would be amazing for general aviation flying around Chile. Just, oh. Oh, Calboco, which is nearby. Yep, erupted 9 years ago. That's correct. And that's actually the volcano we see here. There's Calbuco. Right over here is Calbuco. The one right next to it is Osorno. Is right. Yeah, this whole area right here is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire because Chile is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. So there are volcanoes and stuff in this area, mind you. That is something to be warned when you're around Chile. And of course, our last slide for this part of the flight, for this leg, is El Tupal International Airport, the main airport for Puerto Montt. Opened, the airport completed in 1960, and it became the site of a great airlift in when a 9.5 earthquake hit the area in 1960. It currently serves the tourist airport of Montt and is one of the most important airports in Chile. It can handle planes up to the size of a 707 or smaller, so you can fly the 737 family planes as well as the Airbus A320 family planes. And in 2012 had 1.1 million passengers, making it one of the more busy airports in all of Chile. It currently serves destinations across the country, including Concepcion, Santiago, and Punta Arenas. So that's what it currently serves. So we'll be landing here at the airport very shortly. There is Puerto Montt, Chile, to the south. Here it is. Once we do that, we'll fly into El Tacoma International and make our first landing of the day. This will be preparing for the second and probably the longer leg of the trip. Well, I'll just briefly slow this down a bit. So here is Puerto Montt. You can see some of the downtown port area. Ships do go here, but they often are tendered here. But yeah, this area is a region I would love to visit in real life. Is South America, as part of South America. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. This might be some of the prettiest parts of the entire continent. Go ahead and turn. There's Puerto Montt. Oh, Calbuco. Yeah, Calbuco. Thank you, Typhon. Yeah, I do my best with the pronunciations. I'm not always the best with those, but thank you for your help as always. So, guys, this would be our first stop of the day. We'll get a brief landing, and then we'll be heading back out for leg number 2. And there we'll talk about the geography of Chile, because Chile has a really interesting geography. And that's always kind of worth talking about for sure. Had to deploy any gear. So, yeah, Chile wouldn't be a bad place to do some of the airliner flights. I think it would be a really stunning area to take off and land. Nice landing. You're -70. That's really So we'll get ahead and just briefly park here. If anyone else wants to join on in, we're in the Southeast Asian server. We just made our first stop here at Puerto Montt. If you guys are wanting to join on in, so we'll just briefly stop here. We'll just briefly park here for a bit. But yeah, an absolutely beautiful first stop. And that's a really cool screenshot with the two volcanoes. That's a really cool shot. Yeah, well, I'll be waiting here for just a bit. If you guys want to join on in, we're in the Southeast Asian server. If you do exclamation point route, you guys get the route for today's flight. We still got one final leg left to go on this journey. We'll be heading our way over to Concepcion. Yeah, we'll be getting to Santiago. So let's go ahead and this one we're gonna fly at 6,000 feet next leg, but not nearly as high. Um, Here we are. We're gonna fly up to 6,000 feet for this one. So we're climbing up to 6,000 feet. We'll be talking next about the geography of Chile. We'll just talk about all about geography and the stuff relating to it. So we'll do it once we get up to 6,000 feet. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this flight. This has been an absolutely pretty flight. Chile is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorites in South America. I really enjoyed Chile. So yeah, guys, if I can't get the A320 working on Wednesday, we'll just be flying the 737 out of Pittsburgh. Because, like I said, I haven't done very much flying out of Pittsburgh so far. There's quite a few places I really want to check out of Pittsburgh, in the eastern United States. I like to do some checking out. Um, there's a couple of places I could think about. We do a shuttle service, so we could do Pittsburgh Philadelphia shuttle from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. That would be a pretty good one. DCA would be pretty cool. Pittsburgh to DCA or Dulles. That could be a really cool one. LaGuardia, of course. We could do that one. There's also Detroit, Detroit Metro. There's Toronto's Pearson. You can do. Hey, Balmer, good to see you. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well, Balmer. We're currently flying in southern Chile today. We're gonna head up to Concepcion for our next stop. Yeah, we're day 30 of the trip. I can't believe we did a month worth of stream now. We made it all the way to South America. I'm doing quite well, Bomber. We're just in Chile and definitely taking it in the sea. We're climbing to 6,000 feet for this leg. We started back at Balmaceda, Chile, and we're now flying to We went there to board them up for the first stop, and now we're on our second leg over to Concepcion. Beautiful leg. I mean, what an absolutely stunning flight today. I mean, this is just an absolute pretty area. I mean, this sim has got some beautiful scenes. This here is Lago Milan-Quahu. That's where we're flying over today. We're now going to be... And we're going to be heading northwest. We're going to fly over some of the mountain ranges in this area. This area's got quite a few mountains and stuff to fly over, lakes. It should be an absolute stunning flyover. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, delete the rolling cache. I don't really have a rolling cache. I don't even have a rolling cache at all, Palmer. So we're gonna climb up to eat very impressive. So we officially have risen to about 6,000 feet. We've really been flying very fast. Yeah, we will be taking another turboprop in about a few weeks, which is when we get to Santiago, of course. We'll be taking another turboprop. This time we'll actually be taking the TBM when we get to Santiago, because there's a specific mountain I want to check out for that flight, and that is, of course, Aconcagua, the tallest peak in the Andes. I want to check that. We'll fly up there, check out that. Is it Westrina? And then the other one will fly straight to pretty cool stuff. This one. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about a little bit about my second part of the topic, and that is Chile's geography. And it's really unique compared to a lot of other countries. Has been Chile's geography. This is one of the more unique parts about the country. One of the big reasons why Chile's geography is very different from other nations is that Chile's is a very long country. Um, it actually stretches over 2,000 miles north to south, but at its widest point is only just 217 miles at its widest, and its narrowest point is only 40 miles east-west. On top of it, with its mountains, it encompasses a wide variety of climates and landscapes. It's also situated within the Pacific Ring of Fire, and it's among the longest north to south countries in the world. If one considers only mainland territory, Chile is unique because of its narrowest from east to west, compared to other long north-south countries like Brazil, Russia, Canada, and the US, among others. And there's quite a few natural regions of Chile. If you ever go to the north of Chile, you found the desert. It's insanely arid, and it contains the Atacama Desert, one of the world's driest areas. In fact, it doesn't register any rainfall at all due to a variety of factors, mainly the Andes, the Chilean Coast Range, and an inversion layer by the Humboldt Current. Creates very dry temperature. Then you have the central valley of Chile, which is home to the majority of people, very fertile land with temperate Mediterranean climate. And of course, the southern area, which has got a lot of the natural scenery and stuff. But you got lots of fjords, glaciers, and more. But Chile's geography is very, very unique. And the highest point in Chile is the Ojo del Salado at 22,000 feet, which is really high. Now, if you look at its topography, of course, it's a very high. Chile is located along a highly seismic and volcanic zone in the Pacific Ring of Fire due to the subduction of the Nazca and Antarctic plates in the South American plate, and that's why Chile gets quite a bit of earthquakes and volcanoes erupted compared to many other South American countries. And there are lots of volcanoes and stuff. But yeah, the far north region is the desert. Then you have the Norte Chico, which is part of the Aconcagua River. Central area is most popular and it's got the best valleys into the south. But basically what I'm trying to say is that Chile can get a lot of volcanoes and stuff due to being part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. It also has other territories in the Pacific, mainly Easter Island, which everyone should probably know. And oh, you guys probably know Easter Island, which is home to the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Rapa Nui National Park. And it's one of the world's most remotest inhabited areas, as the nearest inhabited land is over 1,200 miles away in Pitcairn Island. So you have to do a long flight over to Easter Island. That's something to definitely consider Chile. And then we got Chile's climate. So one of the big things about Chile is definitely its diversity in climate. Chile's climate is very diverse. For example, if you go up north, you get arid desert in the far north. Then when you get down to the south in the Central Valley, you get more tempered, dry summer, cold summer areas. You also got lots of polar tundra stuff, more in the mountains in the south. You get polar tundra climates. Then you also have temperate, warm summer stuff. But basically, Chile's climate is very diverse, and that's due to the fact that, well, you can think all the different weather systems and stuff, and that creates Chile's very unique climate situation because you've got all sorts of different regions. You got desert, semi-arid, Mediterranean climate. There's even tropical rainforest climate in Easter Island, even subtropical, temperate monsoon, oceanic tundra, continental subalpine, alpine tundra, and more. But basically, there's tons of climate variation in the country of Chile. You get all sorts of different climates and stuff. So that's just this part of it first. The rest of it will be covered later. I don't want to get you guys, don't want you guys to get information overload. I'm not gonna make you guys go through this. We're just gonna chill, relax, and have a fun time. According to my maps, this is Lago Ranco, and we're about to get to the volcano Mocho Troshenka, which is just right ahead of us, which we're going to be flying near here shortly. Beautiful area here in the center. Absolutely gorgeous area. Going into the natural scenery and stuff. Yeah, I still need to complete the rest of the Chile slides today, probably. Yeah, there's a river volcano over here to our right. This is beautiful stuff here in this part of Chile. Like I said, one of the great things about Chile is so it gets much more different once we go north. Once we get past Santiago into Ecuador, La Serena, and Antofagasta, you get to see the more of the desert parts of Chile, and you get to see a real difference in terms of natural scenery and stuff. You get to see some real changes. I hope you guys are liking this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Chile is just really nice. I mean, there's other things I could also be doing on Wednesday as well. I could do some stuff out of Bristol. I might get the scenery for Bristol. Um, and maybe I'll do some UK flights out of Bristol. Maybe to either to Bristol to Dublin. Maybe I could do Bristol to Cork because I will be visiting Cork next year. By the way, so maybe I get to do some fun in Ireland, or or I could do another flight out of Nairobi. I know I did. I know technically I did do the Kenya thing last week, but I could do it again this week as well. There's also Dubai. as well. I know I visited Tehran the last stream I went through. So yeah, there could be a few things. I could go back to Dublin again, maybe do some flying there. Or Zurich, because I haven't done anything in Zurich in a little bit. Maybe do some flying stuff around Milan, but basically, there's all sorts of things I could do Wednesday. Or maybe Lake Tahoe, probably. Maybe I'll just have to take the baby 737 out of Tahoe, probably, because since I can't take anything super large out of Tahoe. That's the one thing I don't like about the Lake Tahoe hop. It's just, okay, I know 8,500 feet seems like it's more than enough normally, but when you're over a mile high at 6,200 feet, almost 6,300 feet above sea level, that 8,500-foot runway feels like a 6,600-foot runway or smaller because of altitude and how much it affects. And that's not even counting weight. So that's kind of been my thing. So, we're just 179 nautical miles from our final stop. Yeah, look at the volcanoes here. That's just awesome. Well, that's a nice screenshot. Oh, that's a cool screenshot. That's an awesome screenshot there. I love the volcanoes. I know those things can also be quite dangerous too if you live around this area. But man, GA in this area is just so beautiful. Like Chile in general, may just be one of my end up being one of my favorite countries, South America. I really do enjoy flying in Chile because you get a different experience whenever you fly between this far south region with the fjords and stuff in Patagonia, and of course the south region where we're at right now, and of course you have the region around Santiago with Aconcagua and all that, in the deserts. Chile's got so many different experiences in just one long country. Oh, right. So one of the really cool things about Chile would be, so one of the things I really do enjoy about this journeys is we're about over a month of journeys. So I've really been enjoying this whole month of journeys. We started all the way back on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve in my home airport, Clark Regional Airport, Kilo Julia Victor Yankees. So we went through from there to Palm Beach, since that was pretty close to the Bahamas. Then we explored 2 days in the Bahamas, 2 streams in the Bahamas. Then we traveled through Cuba. We traveled through Cuba via Key West. Then um did about 2 streams in Cuba. Then did a whole 1 stream in Jamaica, 1 stream in Tahiti, another stream in Dominican Republic. Then we did a DC-6 flight over to St. Kitts Nevis, explored the island in Antigua. Then we did Mad Dash through Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada, and finally Trinidad and Tobago. Then we did 2 streams in Venezuela, 1 stream in Guyana, 1 stream in Suriname. Then like 4 or 5 streams in Brazil, because Brazil is the largest country in South America. We went through. We did an Amazon trip. We did two. We did 1 stream going to the Amazon River to Manaus. Then we went to Manaus to Brasilia, Brasilia to Rio de Janeiro. Then we did Rio, Sao Paulo, Curitiba. Then we did Iguazu Falls, which was really cool. Then we just did much of a trip through Paraguay. Then we did Uruguay, Argentina. We actually only did 1 stream in Argentina, which was to the Tierra del Fuego, because, well, a lot of it was kind of barren. It wasn't super interesting for the GA stuff, so I rather just did the long flight down to Ushuaia. Then we did the Patagonia thing, which was both Argentina and Chile. Now we're going to be in Chile. So I think for the next 30 days, I think we'll be finishing up Chile. We'll go to Bolivia, Peru. We'll go to Ecuador. Then we'll check out Colombia. Again, when we return back to North America with Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, and then Mexico, which we will be going through quite a bit of Mexico. We'll be visiting Chichen Itza, Cancun, Chichen Itza. Then we go to Mexico City, Guadalajara, and make our way through to Monterrey, and eventually get back to Texas. Maybe we end up flying over there to Phoenix, probably go up through Sedona, Grand Canyon, or I could do a flight over there to Colorado, maybe Grand Junction or Moab. I was thinking probably Moab, and we go through the Utah National Parks, which is Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Glen Canyon. Then we go through Zion National Park. Then we go through the Grand Canyon. Then back to Zion National Park. Then we go over Bryce Canyon, Zion National Park, and then visiting, of course, Grand Canyon into Las Vegas. And basically that plan, and then they'll go from Vegas. We'll go to, we'll fly to Fresno. We'll actually be probably flying to Bakersfield probably, and then go up through Sequoia, Kings Canyon, Yosemite, and then we might go to South Lake Tahoe and Reno, which would be right where our hub is. I mean, don't get me wrong, San Francisco and all that would be cool. And then we'll just do some flying around the Cascade Mountain Range. That would be pretty neat. I'm also very excited for the Alaska Passage. That would be really cool. The Inside Passage of Alaska. That would be amazing. Yeah, got some big things planned for the next month, I believe. These streams. And if you look to our right, look at that. That is Volcan Picha Lima. Lama. That's what this volcano is. We're gonna go ahead and turn a little bit. All right, we're getting ready for our second part of the leg, and now we're gonna head to Concepcion. What? Severe thunderstorm warning. Oh God. Um. Oh, that can't be good. Severe thunderstorm warning. Hold. That's not good. Don't know that concern. That probably really. Oh my gosh. Hey, you gonna see a paparazzi? Oh my gosh, really? Yeah, thunderstorm warning? Yeah, they've been serious around the country. Puebla, Mexico, they got 9 inches of hail. Oh my god. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Gotta check the gotta check the thing around. I need to check the service in Louisville. Oh yeah, they said around the winds are gonna be around 80 miles an hour. Oh god, that's not good. 80-mile-an-hour gust winds at home. Radar indicated flying debris would be dangerous to those who don't have shelter. Mobile homes would be heavily damaged. Expect considerable damage to the roofs of power outages. Oh my god. It will remain until 4 p.m. Eastern for central Kentucky. Oh, this ain't good. And 9 inches of hail. Youch. That's it. I'll have to hurry up and get the stream done. So let's go over the slideshow. I wish I could have gotten them faster now and then, so I can just at least get the stream done. But this is the biodiversity of Chile. Um, the flora and fauna of Chile are characterized by a high degree of endemism due to its unique geography. In particular, in continental Chile, you have the Atacama Desert in the Andes Hours that the east there are barriers that led to isolation of flora and fauna. Combine that with its length, and this results in a wide range of climates and environments that can be diversified into 3 zones. The desert province of the north, central Chile, and the humid regions of the south. There's fewer native flora species in Chile compared to other South American countries. Mainly the north is very barren. In the southern Chile, the heavy precipitation has produced dense forests of laurels, magnolias, and other species of conifers. There's about over 3,000 species of fungi reported in Chile, though it's far from complete. And its isolation has restricted immigration of faunal life, so only a few of the many South American animals are found, mainly the puma and cougar, the llama like guanaco, and the fox like tilia, which basically is the great fox. There's also the national bird of Chile, the Andean condor. Is the national bird of Chile is the Andean condor, which is which is a New World vulture. It's the only member of its genus, and it's considered to be the largest bird of prey in the world. Weighs up to 33 pounds and has a 10-foot wingspan. And it's primarily a scavenger. It's had some habitat loss, but though it's worked very hard by local authorities to actually bring them more into population. One of its other relatives is the is very similar New World vulture, the California condor, which is actually located in the species of Gymnops, which is the largest North American land bird, the California condor, which is an absolutely huge bird. But the Indian condor is Chile's national bird. And they can actually live up to a very long lifespan. You'd be surprised. These condors can actually live up to over 50 years. The longest confirmed lifespan, the one they found, was 72 years old. 72 years old! Which is insane for a bird. Outside of the Indian condor, you could also find another national animal in Chile, the taruca, which is the Indian deer. You also have, of course, you got its own penguin species. The Magellanic penguin lives in South America, as well as mollusks like the Humboldt squid. And of course, you also got the cougar, who lives, which is there's basically lots of different wildlife and animal species living in this area. And yeah, cougar basically, they live all over South America. They actually, the cougar or puma or mountain lion or catamount, they basically live all throughout the Americas. They get contemporary populations across all of the Americas, which goes far north as British Columbia and far south as Chile, which is absolutely insane. They're super adaptable predators. They firewall. You said you were going to use the TBM. Yeah, I'm gonna use the TBM when we get to Santiago. Um, so yeah, but basically there's a lot of really cool animals and stuff in Chile. I am firewalling it. I've been firewalling the entire leg. I'm gonna use slew mode. Hmm. So yeah, man, we're gonna like I'm in the basement at least. The good thing is I'm one of the safer areas of the house, the basement. So I should be fine. But yeah, this. So we're just 76 nautical miles out from our final stop here in Concepcion, Chile. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here today on this Sunday stream. Really do appreciate you guys coming here. If you guys are enjoying this stream and you haven't followed the support of the channel, smash that follow button. Continue to support the channel. We'll be streaming here on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So, yeah, I'm hoping things go safely where I'm at. I think next week, I think the plan for next week's stream um, is going to be something around Pittsburgh, probably. Just because I haven't actually streamed very much in that city in quite a while. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for what you can do, just let me know in the Discord. Here's the Discord link if you guys are interested. Sorry about that. So we're about 50 nautical miles from our final stop in Concepcion, Chile. Don't really have much more time left to go. But this has been a beautiful flight today. Chile has been absolutely stunning. I mean, this country, Chile, very, very nice place to fly. And it should be getting nice within the next 2 weeks. Could be some nice flying in Chile. The next 2 or 3 weeks. Could be some nice flying in Chile. But yeah, I still had a blast with the jets. That was a ton. But flying through Chile, Forest and Tea National Park, flying that with jets. There's a river running across this area. This river here is part of the Biobio River. Goes through all of this. So let's go ahead and talk about Concepcion then. To wrap up the stream, I'm also going ahead and drop down to 2,500 feet for this. I'm going to go ahead and drop down to there. I'll talk more about, next week will be the government and economy of Chile. And then the next part will be week 3 will be LATAM Airlines in the culture of Chile will be the last week. That's how I'm going to be planning on spreading out this stuff, because I want to spread out this stuff for. So this is Concepcion, Chile. This city and commune in south central Chile is one of the 3 major conurbations in the country. The other one being in Chile and in Santiago, and the other one being Antioquia. It has significant impact on domestic trade, being part of the most heavily industrialized region in the country. It was first settled in the Bay of Concepcion, that would become the city of Pinco. It dates back to 1550, founded by Pedro de Valdivia as part of the Spanish Empire. It was the capital of the Kingdom of Chile between 1565 to 1573. and retained the unofficial position of military capital for the rest of the colonial period of Chile. It was also an important site for the struggle of Chile's independence, with the Chilean Declaration of Independence being held at its plaza. And it's known as a college town, home to numerous institutions, including the University of Concepcion, the University of Bio Bio, and the Catholic University of the Most Holy Conception. It also contains various historical bridges, murals, parks, and lakes. So this town here is pretty important. It's one of the big cities in Chile with a population of 223,000 people. And its metropolitan area is around 971,000 people live in its metropolitan area. Oh, this is a pretty part right here. Just seeing it right now. Oh, that's gorgeous, guys. That's pretty. Who expected Chile to be this nice? Super nice area. In terms of landmarks in the city, there's the Casa de Arte de Jose Clemente Orozco, which is the art gallery. It attracts 75,000 visitors per year and hosts the country's largest collection of paintings outside of Santiago, with over 1,800 works. And then there's the Memorial 27F, commemorate the victims of an earthquake that happened on February 27, 2010 in the central area around Chile. Which, Chile, by the way, if you guys aren't aware, this area gets a lot of earthquakes and volcanoes because it's part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. So it does get quite a bit of earthquakes, and do be warned about that. And our final slide for today is Carriel Sur International Airport, Sierra Charlie, India Echo. This airport is one of the largest airports in the country and serves domestic traffic routes for LATAM Airlines, JetSmart, and Sky Airline. It also serves as the primary alternate airport for the Arturo Merino Benitez Airport in Santiago. Usually receiving international traffic from Santiago when that airport closes due to weather. And it was built during 1960. Opened in 1968 with destinations all across Chile, including Antofagasta, Puerto Montt, Punta Arenas, and Santiago. So yes, speaking of earthquakes in Chile, one of the most powerful earthquakes ever happened in 1960 in Valdivia, which is the Great Chilean Earthquake, and it's the most powerful earthquake ever recorded happened here in Chile, when a massive 9.4 to 9.6 magnitude scale happened during that time. In fact, that's actually, we're right in the area where that earthquake happened. It lasted for 10 minutes, and it caused the resulting tsunamis that affected Chile, Hawaii, Japan, the Philippines, New Zealand, Australia, and the Aleutian Islands. And it completely wrecked the entire area. The main tsunami traveled across the Pacific Ocean and devastated Hilo, Hawaii, where waves as high as 35 meters were recorded, and they were about 6,200 miles from the epicenter. And apparently the losses range between $400 to $800 million, and about 1,000 to 6,000 people were killed. And basically the cost adjusted for inflation would be $4.1 to $8.2 billion. It was a massive earthquake, the most powerful one ever recorded. Happened around here. Just insane. Yeah, this area is just super. Here is the city of Concepcion. And our airport is right over here. Oh. Oops. Here we go. Yeah, beautiful city. Yeah, it is. I wonder what 2024 is going to bring to the table. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Yeah, Chile's been an absolutely fun time. That was a pretty nice landing. Negative 93, another really good landing in the King Air. And we'll just park right around this area. Well, guys, welcome to Chile, everyone. Guys, thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for coming along with me in this trip. This was an absolutely stunning trip. Got to see a whole zoo side Chile I didn't get a chance to see before. So, absolutely incredible stream here, guys. Thank you all so much. So, we will be back on Wednesday, hopefully, assuming everything gets fine. We'll be flying either the A320 from any builds or the 737 out of Pittsburgh. I'll let you guys know. when the time comes for the flight plan. I'll post it as soon as I can. So guys, thank you so much. We'll get prepared for the raid. We'll find someone really nice. So guys, I hope you will have a fantastic rest of the weekend and see you guys soon. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone, and stay safe.